Would you like to save $650 a month? Or how about improve your overall health and finally lose weight? As it turns out, the two of them are not that different after all. What's up everyone, it's Alex from modernhealthmonk.com here. When you think about it, weight loss is not that different from personal finance. In both of these industries, we often know what we should be doing. We know we should be saving, or we know we should be eating more vegetables and lean meats, but we don't do it. Why? I became curious what separates savers from non-savers when both of them know that they should be saving. As it turns out, the Dutch did a pretty interesting study on this exact subject. The Dutch DNB household study took 1,360 people that wanted to save and did end up saving, and compared them to 89 people that wanted to save but did not end up saving. The researchers wanted to see the key differences between people who said they were going to save and did, and those who didn't. The researchers found three really interesting things. Number one, different time horizons. The people that wanted to save and actually did it were thinking much further ahead than the people who were not. And this makes a lot of sense, you know. In the short term, you're probably not going to use saved money, so what's the incentive to save? There is none. So rather than thinking, what can I do today that will help me in 6 months, the savers actually were thinking, what can I do today that I will keep doing today in 2 or 3 years? Number two, people that planned to save and ended up saving use automation techniques that bypass their own willpower, whereas people that were not saving use ineffective techniques like just carrying some spare cash on them. Now there's a key phrase in there, bypassing willpower. This is something I talk about a lot, how relying on willpower and discipline is not a good strategy for improving your health, because willpower and discipline vary on a daily basis. So in this particular study, the successful people that saved were using automated money transfers, so they would pre-program it for every month to be transferred into their savings account. Number three, the people that saved had very different internal money scripts than the people who did not save. So the people that didn't save had one main mental script going over and over in their head, and it's called money avoidance. So whenever you hear someone say something like, the rich are greedy, money is dirty, or money corrupts people, that's a mental script they've got going on in their head. And the study found that people with this particular script were much less likely to have a higher net worth than people who didn't. So what does this stuff have to do with weight loss anyway, or improving your overall health? You know, what are the parallels between personal finance and weight loss, and how can I actually see results by using these psychological principles? Well, here's the first thing you could do. Number one, change your time horizon in your head. So rather than thinking about, okay, what can I do today that will get me to my desired outcome in 6 months, think about what can you do today that you will still be doing 3 years later. Now that changes your entire time frame from, okay, in 6 months or 2 years I'll be done and then I can go back to normal, to, okay, I need to change this for good. So what can I start doing small today that I can keep doing over and over and over to make me successful? In other words, how can I reprogram my habits now so I don't have to worry about them later? Now this also changes how you approach action, because if you're thinking in 6-month intervals, then you're going to think, okay, how can I get the best results in 6 months? Well, that may mean just not eating, or that may mean taking Sensa or doing some ridiculous starvation diet. Those are not good for long-term results. Number two, what can you turn into a system or automate so that it bypasses your willpower? I'll give you a personal example here. So I personally was never a saver in my previous life, not until last year. I read about this particular study talking about automating your savings accounts, so I decided to set one up myself. And guess what happened? Now, a year later, I have $650 a month automatically going to several different accounts, business investments, travel, and just personal miscellaneous money. Now this is all because I bypassed willpower and discipline. Instead of saying, okay, I'm only going to carry $20 on me, and I'm going to try also not to spend that, I automated this so I forgot about it. It just happened by itself. And for the first time in my life, I have tons of money saved. Now the next thing I did was program my Sunday mornings to be personal finance days. So I would just look at my bank statements, make sure everything added up, do some calculations, and then that would be done. But over a period of weeks, Sunday mornings became programmed to be my personal finance days. I didn't have to remind myself, it just happened and I got it done. So what kind of habits can you personally program into your life? You may want to do a Sunday morning thing like I did. So maybe Sunday morning will be your 10-minute walks, or a 10-minute yoga session, or just bringing the dog out. Or maybe Sunday mornings will be the day where you go shopping for healthy food so you can cook it, have it all done for the rest of the week. But how do you make sure you do this habit every single day? In other words, how do you really program it and with accountability to make sure you're getting it done? Now, I personally use a tool called I Done This, and what it does is every night at a preset time, it'll send you an email saying, okay, what did you do today? And you can pre-program it. So for example, say you want to develop a habit of drinking 6 glasses of water a day. I Done This will email you in the evening, again, one every day, and it'll say, hey, did you get this done? You just reply to the email and it'll save it in a system for you. So over weeks and months, you can analyze all these things about your habits. So I would suggest checking out a free trial of I Done This. It'll notify you every night, and it's a great way to pre-program a small habit. So start with something crazy small. And again, the point is to think about how you can program your own habits. bypass willpower, and create systems and automation that will not let you fail. Now hold on, before you go, I want you to leave a comment below and tell me one habit you want to program or automate in your own life to get closer to your own health or personal finance goals in 2013.